This is the solution video for section 8.3, problem number 5. All right, it says a solid has as its base in the circular region in the xy plane bounded by the graph of x squared plus y squared equals a squared with a greater than 0. Find the volume of the solid if every cross-section by the plane perpendicular to the x-axis is a square. All right, so first of all, we need to come up with a graph. Well, they told you it's a circular region, but x squared plus y squared is a circle, right? So circle of radius a, right? So we have this circle. Now, you know that this should go to the right to a comma 0, 0 comma a. All right, to the left, negative a comma 0, and down to 0 comma negative a, right? And it's, of course, centered at 0, 0, right? All right, so it says find the volume if every cross-section is perpendicular to the x-axis. So that means we're using a dx, right? So we've got a dx here, and it's a square. So you got a square coming out of the page at you, right? All right, so remember, area of a square is just the length of a side squared, all right? So remember, the length of the side is the height of the dx rectangle, all right? So the height of the dx would be the upper boundary minus the lower boundary. But if I'm going to use a dx, I'm going to have my equation in y equals form. So y equals, well, plus or minus the square root of a squared minus x squared, right? And so that means the area as a function of x is going to be, well, the length of the side, which is the upper boundary, minus the lower boundary, right? So upper boundary is the positive root a squared minus x squared, minus the lower boundary, which is the negative root a squared minus x squared. So this actually just gets me 2 root a squared minus x squared. All right, and so that is the length of the side. So we're going to take 2 root a squared minus x squared, and we're going to square that. All right, now remember, the 2 is also being squared because that's part of the length of the side. So we're going to find the volume, we're going to integrate this function, so the 2 root a squared minus x squared quantity squared with respect to x, from what to what? Well, we're going to integrate from negative a to positive a. Now remember, a is some constant, but it's just not specified, right? So we're just going to have an a in our answer, all right? So now let's get ready to integrate. So integral from negative a to positive a. So now this becomes 4 times the quantity a squared minus x squared, right? Remember, 2 squared is 4, but then the square root of a squared minus x squared is just a squared minus x squared, dx. All right, so now the 4 can come in front. Now, if I integrate a squared, keep in mind, a is an unspecified constant. So the integral of a squared is just a squared times x. Minus x squared, that would be x cubed over 3, and we're going to evaluate from negative a to positive a. So now we're just plugging in a and negative a. All right, so I have 4 times the quantity a squared times a, right? I'm plugging in a for x, minus a cubed over 3, right? Then minus, now I'm plugging in negative a, so I have, now I have the 4, once again, times the a squared times negative a, minus negative a cubed over 3, right? And so then I have all of that. All right, so now here I have 4a cubed, if I distribute the 4, minus, this would be 4a cubed over 3. All right, then I have a minus here, but then I have a squared times negative a, so this would become plus 4a cubed. Then I have a minus getting distributed here, and I have a minus there, and then I have 3 minuses, so the end result is a minus 4a cubed over 3. All right, and so now to simplify a little bit, I've got a 4a cubed and a 4a cubed, so an 8a cubed minus an 8a cubed over 3. So this would actually be 24, right, if I multiply by 3 over 3. So I get 24a cubed over 3 minus 8a cubed, so 16a cubed over